Hello, welcome. I am so excited to share with you our brand new novel study. Are you ready? It is of Anne of Green Gables. Guys, I don't know if you can tell my excitement. This is my favorite book, okay? I even have my Anne of Green Gables shirt on. I am so pumped about this. So this is our brand new middle grade novel study. And so middle grades means grades 4 through 8. This is great for any of those because I am huge on multi-family learning, right? If you have a 4th grader and a 7th grader and you want to do this with both of them, it is perfect for that, okay? And so I love being able to combine and teach multiple kids at once. Obviously, if you only have one kid, it's great for that too. I have 4 kids, so anytime that I can get more than one learning, I try to do that if possible. So this is our beautiful Anne of Green Gables. I'm so excited. So this is a slightly different novel study than we have ever done before. And so when I'm not even on the right page. I got so excited I started without having my website ready. When we write curriculum for our novel studies, we usually try to make every single lesson based on like a part of speech or something like that, very language arts related, right? This is still a language arts, but this one focuses all on writing. And I've never done that before. And so I'm really pumped about this. And so unlike a lot of novel studies out there, this one isn't full of just read this, here's some comprehension questions. No. That's not how we do things here. This is a full language arts curriculum. This particular one has 16 lessons, which will take you 32 weeks. So it is meant to be used over an entire school year. And this is a fantastic writing curriculum for your kiddo to learn all of the different ways of writing, especially if they've never written a large research paper before. So let me go through all 16 different lessons for you so you can see what's included. The first lesson's on journal writing, sentence structure, descriptive writing, narrative, collecting information, making a strong topic sentence, background information, transition and summary sentences, gathering evidence and research, arguments, meet paragraphs, conclusion, sloppy copy, revision and editing, final copy, and literary analysis. So that's a lot of writing. And we used it this past year. And I also used bits and pieces of it at my co-op, and everyone loved it. And my son, I know I've shared about him multiple other times. If you are not new, he's always struggled with writing. That's why we created our writing membership, which has turned into our Rabbit Trails Through Writing curriculum that's available all the time now. And as he got older and aged out of those, I wanted something to prep him, honestly, for high school. I wanted him to write a good research paper before he even got into high school, because I knew if he didn't have that foundation that he would struggle going into 9th grade and doing like legit research papers. And he's still going to get some of that hand holding in high school as well. But this really broke things down bit by bit, and he did it. 0 issues, 0 struggles, and it was awesome to see what he came up with, guys. Like, I was just kind of waiting for those fights to happen and waiting for him to not know what to write. None of that happened. He, even doing the research paper, the way that we broke it down, there was 0 fights. It was amazing. So I'm like tooting my own horn. I can't even help it. It really transformed him as a writer using this and not feeling overwhelmed with something like an actual research paper. So there are still also parts of speech and concepts like that as well inside the curriculum, because I didn't want to leave those out. In fact, I took the opportunity to review the more simple parts of speech, like a noun, a verb, a pronoun, stuff like that. Because a lot of times we don't go over those as our kids get older. We go over them when they're younger, and then they kind of forget. And so I really wanted to use this opportunity to also review those as well. And so as I walk you through the curriculum, I will show you where all of that's going to happen. So first things first, you obviously are going to need a copy of Anne of Green Gables. You do not need this particular copy of Anne of Green Gables. You can have any copy because on the inside, it is all the same. We do not tell you to do page numbers. We only tell you what chapters to read. And so you can get any copy you want, but oh, isn't this one beautiful? It is so beautiful. I have my entire collection of Anne of Green Gables right there. This copy that I have is quite literally falling apart. I've had it since high school. Yeah, that's why I have a new copy. So I'm obviously a huge Anne of Green Gables nerd, and I hope that you guys turn into huge Anne of Green Gables nerds as well. So on top of the novel of Anne of Green Gables, Lucy Maud Montgomery by Alexandra Wallner is also a book that is going to be needed. However, it is out of print. So I did do a read aloud. It is attached. I will show you where that is attached in the back of the curriculum so that you guys can watch the read aloud if you can't grab a copy of this. However, if you can grab a copy of it, I highly encourage you to, because Alexandra Wallner is just a great storyteller. She has books about all kinds of different people throughout history, and I love her illustrations as well. So, but if you can't grab it, I have the read aloud for you because you're going to want that for that first lesson because the first lesson is on the author, Lucy Maud Montgomery, or L.M. Montgomery, as it shows on the books and what she had her pen name. So you're going to need that book for that first lesson. And then after that first lesson, it will go on to start being about the book. So let me flip to the right lesson to show you. So on our little title papers, it will show you what chapters you're supposed to read. It will also tell you that at the beginning of the lesson as well. And so if you are familiar with rabbit trails, all of our lessons are laid out the same way. And if you are unfamiliar, that's what this walkthrough is for. So you can see how they're all laid out. So the lesson, this is where your child will be taught about what type of writing they're supposed to be doing. So in this lesson, it's the second lesson. It is on sentence structure. It is going to be all explained here. And they're usually in each one challenged to go ahead and do whatever that writing is. And so that is kind of assignment number 1, is doing whatever it asks you to do here with the lesson. There is also a copy work section. And so this is a blurb from the book. And then there's also a Bible verse for copy work. And we don't like to just throw Bible verses out there and say, here's a Bible verse that doesn't make any sense or go along with anything. So we do have a short Bible lesson so that that verse can be tied into whatever is happening in the story, so that there's a teachable moment there coming from that Bible verse and isn't just in there to say, there's a Bible verse, check mark, right? I want your kids to actually learn about, something and how it could relate to their lives by having that Bible verse a part of it as well. Next, we have our Some Fun section. And so this is, there's so many good things for Anne of Green Gables, guys. It was amazing. This is a way for your kids to get hands-on, have some fun, to go along with what they're reading in the novel. And so in this one, it is to make a painting of the White Way of Delight. I love it. This has tons of baking inside, guys. Lots of opportunities for baking, lots of opportunity for nature-y crafts. It is so much fun. And so I need to tell you, I used part of this in our co-op, and the boys even had fun. So there was only one activity, and if you use it, I will let you guess what the activity was that I chose to not make the boys do. Outside of the one activity, the boys did all the other activities, and they had a blast. And so if you have a boy that you want, I make all my boys read Anne of Green Gables. This is still boy appropriate. Don't let the flowers and stuff scare you away. This is still a boy appropriate curriculum, and I actually kept my boys in mind as I was writing it. And then obviously all the girls in class absolutely loved it as well. So next we have our rabbit trails and our library list pages. So these are going to be different books that somehow tie into what is happening in the story of Anne of Green Gables. And there's a little explanation as to why we added those books as well. So especially if you have those younger kiddos who are joining an older sibling, or if you have a kiddo that just loves picture books still, that is, we always include picture books in everything that we do. And so those books are great to pull out to just chase those rabbit trails on those different topics. And then the videos all have to do with the type of writing that they are learning about. And so a lot of times it is best for this curriculum, and this is, I think, the only curriculum in all of the units that we have, that it is actually handy to watch this video before you have your child do their writing that's in the lesson assignment. I really searched far and wide for these videos to make sure that they're helpful for them as they're learning that writing. And sometimes it was that further instruction that they needed to do it well. And so I really tried hard to find great videos for that writing. Last but not least is the more idea section. This is where you're going to find the vocabulary words to go along with the lesson. There's going to be more hands-on activities. In this particular curriculum, I had a nature study inside of every single one. And then this is where you're gonna find the different parts of speech to review as well. And I explain like how it could be tied into the story as well, because some of them, it just like jumped out at me as I was reading it to say, this is the part of speech they have to learn and why. And so, yeah, so then there's going to be other ideas on these pages as well that might be hands-on, might be different research, all kinds of fun stuff that are just inspired from the story. So that is a full lesson. If you would like to see that lesson for yourself, we do have a sample schedule on the website. I will put that down in the description so that you can see a full lesson and see everything that I just went over. We also have a sample schedule for you guys. So if you are wondering, how would this be laid out in my homeschool? That sample schedule gives one way that you could lay this out. I don't put anything inside the curriculum because I want you to use it however it fits your unique family. So I don't say Monday do this, Tuesday do this, Wednesday do this, because you may choose to do this work only 3 or 4 days a week. And so you can certainly double up on those different things and do them in less days, or you can have them spread out over 5 days. So the sample schedule will show you how to take one lesson, spread it out over 2 weeks if you were to do school 5 days a week. And I told you I would show you in the back as well. So we do have our resource page here. So this has a link to the main books that you need. It has any links that are inside of the curriculum listed here. And when you have the PDF, these are all clickable. And we also have the QR code here as well to our entire YouTube playlist. And that is where you're gonna find the read aloud of Lucy Maud Montgomery as well. So that's all there for you on the last page of the curriculum. So everything's super easy to find. We also have a companion journal that goes along with the curriculum. And we have these because we want it to be easy for you to have everything in one place. Do you need to purchase this? Not necessarily. You can use a regular notebook, but anytime that there is, like if there's a map in the more ideas, or if there's a graphic organizer or whatever it is, you are going to find that inside of this. We also have vocabulary cards to go with all the vocabulary words in each and every lesson as well. And so you are going to have a place. Let me flip to the front of a lesson here. I just skipped pages. You are going to have a place for any of their writing assignments that go along with the lesson. You are also going to have a place for any copy work, and that includes a page for your Bible copy work. There is a page to write down anything that your child learned about the video that they watched about the different types of writing. There is a page for anything they learned about any of the Rabbit Trails books or Library List books. There is a page for their nature journaling that they're going to be doing. And then, like I said, there are pages for anything for their parts of speech and for their vocabulary as well. And these are blank on the back. So if you are wanting to cut out the vocabulary cards, you can do that instead of keeping them in here. So I think that's it, guys. I don't think I forgot anything. And you can hop on over to our website and you can see everything I talked about, all of the concepts your children will learn, going through the curriculum, that sample lesson, the sample schedule, all of that is right there for you guys. So Anne of Green Gables, it's here, and my heart is just so happy. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.